had to go, so I'll be filling in for him today. And with that, I'd like to bang my visible gavel and start the meeting. So I hope everyone's fine. Our midterms are doing well. I know it's been a crazy semester, and glad to welcome everyone to Toastmasters. I'm Slate Nations, president of UGA Toastmasters, and I think we'll have a great meeting. I see we got a lot of guests today, so I'm really excited for that. And start us off, can someone read the mission statement for Toastmasters, which is found at the bottom left of our agenda?
I could do that for you guys.
Go for it, Scott.
All right, thanks, Slade. Oh, hey guys. So here at Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Hope you all enjoy. Back to you, Slade.
Thanks, Scott. And with that, I'd just like to welcome you guys again one more time to the UGA's Toastmasters meeting, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. Today, our Toastmaster of the day is Courtney Scott, and she'll be leading the meeting. Courtney, you can begin the meeting.
All right, welcome in, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. I will be the Toastmaster today. Before we get started, I just wanted to talk about Toastmasters. And so Toastmasters is a public speaking and leadership development club where you learn to be a better public speaker. We do that through giving impromptu speeches during table topics, but you can also plan ahead and give a planned speech as well. And yeah, it's a great club. Just some Zoom etiquette. If you are not speaking, definitely keep your mic muted. Just in courtesy to the people who are speaking or giving a speech. And so to get started today, I just wanted to introduce the reporter roles so they can explain what they'll be doing during the meeting today. And so I'll start out with the all counter today, who is Sourin. So Sourin, if you want to go ahead and explain your role.
Thank you, Courtney, and I'll be the all counter today, guys. And what I'll basically be doing is counting any sort of unnecessary pauses or filler words that you use and when you're in your speeches or any sort of like table topics, for example, stuff like that. And I'll basically see if you're doing anything redundant and just like give a heads up. So thank you, Courtney.
Awesome. All right, so next we have our grammarian, who is Kaylee today.
Thank you, Courtney. So hi guys, my name is Kaylee Kim. I'll be the grammarian today. So basically what the grammarian does is in a second, I will be introducing the word of the day. I will explain what the definition is and use it in a couple of sentences so that you guys can understand a little bit more about that word, and then I will take note of anybody who chooses to use that word, either the speaker or anybody who speaks during table topics. And I will, since we're in a Zoom format today in this semester, I'll just be using the reactions, like a thumbs up. Thank you.
Awesome. And then finally, we have the timer. It looks like it's Logan, but I'm not sure I see him in attendance here. Is Logan here? Okay. So we may need to fill the timer role for today.
Excuse me, Courtney. If it's if y'all don't mind my interrupting, if you need a timer, I could fill that role for you guys if you want.
That would be amazing, Scott. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, and so now that we have the reporter roles explained, well, actually, I'm sorry, Scott, would you like to explain the timer role real quick?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure thing, Courtney. Hey guys. So my role, my role is to timer today. I'll be normally, normally we would have more than one speaker, where I would making sure that one would stay within time. So for our prepared speeches, it would be between 5 to 7 minutes, and for table topics, it'd be for 1 to 2 minutes. And for that, I will pass it back to you, Courtney.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, so now we can get into our planned speeches for today. Today, we will have a speech by Justin Hurd. The name of his speech is Our Impact, and he is on level 2 of Pathways in Effective Body Language. Justin, you ready to go?
Yep. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. I often hear people in our generation concerned about making an impact. I hear things like, I want to make an impact by becoming a doctor and saving people's lives. I want to make an impact by being a teacher and all my students learning valuable life lessons from me and remembering me for years to come. I want to make an impact by starting a nonprofit that feeds the homeless. These are all things that I often hear, but I don't think any of them are necessary to do this. Let me explain. First, we all make an impact simply by existing. We impact the environment by using resources like food, water, and we consume energy. I'm sure Courtney can tell us all about the environmental impacts we have, so I'm not going to go into it. But most people don't mean environmental, they mean social. Well, we make that too. But beyond the biological impact that we have on our mothers, we impact our family and friends and those who know us. Okay, you say, but I don't mean just that. I know that, but I want to make an impact on people that I barely know, people that will remember me after I die. Well, again, we do that too, and far easier than we think. Let me tell you a story that may or may not be true. There was an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting in a location not to be named. And at this meeting came a new alcoholic, or not new, but new to the meeting. Like most alcoholics beginning recovery, he was egotistical, arrogance, but there was something else. He had a lot of trouble with social skills. This naturally put off many members of the fellowship, and they didn't know how to approach him or how to talk to him. A few of them did try, but didn't go very well. They did get his number though. Well, a week later, the inevitable temptation came for him to drink. And he thought about calling somebody from the meeting, but he remembered that no one had called him that week and he hadn't felt welcome. Sure, he saw sobriety, he saw recovery, he saw that they had something that he wanted, but how could he ask them? How could he be a burden to them? That night, he took his last drink. He died the next morning of alcohol poisoning. Well, a few weeks later, some of the members managed to figure it out, and they were all sitting on a circle and talking about it. And, wait, did anyone bother to call this man? And the first one said, well, I just, he took a lot of energy and I just got really busy and I had too much to do. I feel really awful, but I had too much to do. The second one said, well, I just forgot. I didn't mean to forget. Just time got away from me and, it's really awful. And the third one said, well, I did remember, but I called him too late. I called him a day or two after it happened. All of these people made an impact on this man. Are they responsible for his death? Not in a court of law, certainly. And, one could argue that they have some responsibility, but maybe not. But they impacted his life. And what about all the people in this story that don't have dialogue? They also impacted just by doing nothing. This happens not just in AA meetings or in such dramatic examples. This happens in churches, in advocacy groups, even Toastmasters, though I'm sure not in this club. I want to frame impacts in a different way. I'm going to use Orthodox Christianity to sort of frame it a little bit, just to help us have an understanding. In Orthodoxy, we focus less on the original fall of Adam and more on how we perpetuate the fall every day through our actions, through our sin. And what we mean by sin is not breaking rules, but not acting in accordance with God's will, not acting in harmony with God. So for us, sin doesn't just impact the people involved. It impacts the people not involved. It impacts animals. It impacts the planet. Using this AA story of the man that died, think about the impact on his family of the people. Think about the impact on his friends, on the person that he went to the store and saw at the store once a week, that he bought his groceries from. And certainly this man impacted all the members of that AA meeting. I'll never forget him, not once. So I think people in our generation, and perhaps all generations, need to focus on, one, how all of our impacts impact everyone and everything, but two, on what impact we have made and are making today, not on what impact we will make. See, by thinking about what impact we will make, we often miss what's happening now. And we often are juggling contradictory possibilities that can't happen. For us to exist in the purest form of reality, we can't live in things that contradict each other and can't happen. We have to live in the now. And certainly we have to prepare for tomorrow. Beyond that, how much can we really do? All we can do is decide this. Are we going to ascend towards God or descend away from him? To put it in less theological terms, are we going to walk towards light or darkness? Are we going to bring love into this world or apathy? And hatred is not the opposite of love, apathy is. Are we going to bring peace into the world in harmony or discord? In Orthodoxy, we would say that by doing these things, by bringing light, love, and harmony, we allow the world to participate more fully in God, into its fullest and most perfect potential, even with the most minor thing. Whether our actions are voluntary and involuntary, in word and deed, and knowledge or ignorance, they have impacts. So let us think about, as we leave the meeting, and as we continue through the days to come, what impact we have made and are making. Let us searchingly and fearlessly examine our actions up to this point and consider what we have done and who we really are, and strive to make the impact that we want to make, to be the change we want to see. Thank you.
Wow, that was definitely powerful, poetic, and definitely impactful. Great job. So I'm just going to give everybody 30 seconds. If you want to send some feedback to Justin, now's the time to do that.
Courtney, how do we do that?
Sorry, so you can do it through the chat system. If you would find Justin's name and a little scroll down and just send it to him personally instead of sending it to the entire group.
Thanks.
All right, and then if we could just get the timer report from Scott.
Oh,
Oh, perfect. I see it here. 6 minutes and 30 seconds. And then, of course, because Justin is the only speaker today, we will not be voting. He wins, of course, because he's the only one, but it was a great job. So he deserves it. All right. And then I'm just going to call the Toastmaster to the stage.